and welcome back to another episode of the WPS podcast. That is Why People Suck. I'm Celia, and I'm joined by my co host, best friend, and sister, Alejandra.
Hi, everyone. Glad to be back for another episode where we call out all the ways people are super annoying and talk about what we can actually do about it. We say it so you don't have to. Today, we're talking about a hot topic all about bad friends. I think personally, this is such a good topic because we've all had to deal with people who are just bad friends. I feel like you have also, Celia. So I think that we'll have some good examples here and lots to dive into.
Yeah, definitely. I think everyone's going to be able to relate to this episode. So it'll be exciting to also hear from our audience to see if you've got any stories as well or things to share about what bad friends do. So let's dive into it.
Yeah, I think it's crazy because first of all, there are people that are come into your life for a reason, and sometimes they're in it for what is it that they say? Friends are in it forever or for a season or just for a little bit. And it's like the people that are in it for a season and you have to kick them out of your life because they're bad friends. It's first of all relatable, but it's just like, it's really sad because you got along with this person honestly, like at the beginning, right? You obviously had something
Mhm.
that connected you, and then they turned crazy. It wasn't you. They turned crazy. And so then you had to kick them out of your life. And that's really sad because it's like it doesn't have to end that way, but oftentimes it does, which is really sad.
Yeah, it is sad. And sometimes it can also just be drifting apart, which can be just as painful. It doesn't necessarily have to be something big happening, but where you just start feeling that disconnect and slowly you contact each other less. And then suddenly this person's out of your life and you think, wow, I shared so much with them. And yeah, it hurts. It's like a breakup, a friendship breakup.
Yeah, for sure. It sucks. What's your most traumatizing or sad stories?
I think I've talked about this before. I can't remember what episode, but I brought it up about how I lost a friend during my bridal era. So this was a person that I had met when I moved to London. I didn't have that many friends, and they were like one of the first friends I had. And they just weren't very supportive during the time that I got engaged, and they weren't very excited for me. And I could feel this kinda disconnect happening there, so that was one of those moments where it happened a little bit more gradually, but still it was just kinda like you feel the betrayal because you're like, "Wow, I really felt like this person was gonna be in my life for a long time, and then now we don't talk. I haven't seen this person in a long time," but I do think it was for the best because it's important to have people in your life, especially friendships that support you that are happy for you. So that's what we're all trying to find, isn't it? Our community, our village, people that you're happy for, that they're happy for you, that you can rely on them. And that just wasn't the case for me. What
Yeah.
about you?
Yeah, I think I one of the ones that I remember the most is, yeah, also during my bridal era, as you call it, was one of my she was one of my really good friends, like, we met in college and, like, we were such good friends, and then all the way up until I was a bridesmaid in her wedding, and I feel like I was very supportive during her bridal era, and she just didn't give me that same energy back, and I didn't even ask for as much as she did because she was an unreasonable bride, which was not.
Bridezilla.
Yeah, in a way, but
Mhm.
she yeah, but I it was very that's how she is, so I expected it, and I just rolled with it because I was like, "She's her bride, it's her wedding. I'm gonna do what she wants because 'cause I'm her friend, and that's what I'm here for, and I committed to this, so I'm doing it," and she just did not give me the same energy back, and it just really sucks because I felt really sad and betrayed. She just didn't show up to half of in the morning when we were getting ready for the wedding, you remember, like, all the
Mhm.
bridesmaids were there, we were all getting ready together, and she was just like, "Oh, I can't be there because I'm tired." She was pregnant. And I'm sorry. Okay, at the time I'd never been pregnant, but I was like, "Okay, I get it. She's pregnant, but it's hey, I'm not making you carry me down the stairs and carry me down the aisle or dress me or whatever. You literally just have to sit there and be in the pictures and take a few pictures. That's it. That's all I wanted." So she ended up not being in most of the pictures, which now looking back on that, I'm glad because we're not even friends anymore.
Mm.
So I'm glad she's not in most of my pictures. And now that I've been 7 months pregnant, I can fully and officially say that was some stupid made up BS because when I was 7 months pregnant, if one of my best friends was getting married and I had committed to being a bridesmaid 9 months prior, I would have been like, "I will be there. I'm sorry, I'm tired." I wasn't. I didn't have rough pregnancies, and she didn't either. She was totally making it up. But yeah, I would have been like, if I was tired or like sick or whatever, I would have been like, I will be there and I will just suck it up for the day because I'm there for you. And I may not
Yeah.
be able to do as much as I would if I wasn't pregnant, but I will be there and I will do what I can. I might just have to lay down the whole time, but I'll be there and I'll stand up for the pictures and I'll lay back down.
Yeah.
But
No, totally. I get that too. I would
yeah,
definitely support that as well. I think
yeah,
I would do my very best no matter what's going on with me. I think that's another thing about friendship. No matter what's going on with you, I think you need to be supportive of your friends. You can definitely communicate like when something isn't right in your life. Obviously, that's what you want, being open with your friends, but that doesn't mean that you just disappear on people because you wouldn't want the same to happen to you, right?
yeah,
It's not a one-way street. Friendship is all about giving and taking, so yeah, I
yeah.
totally get it.
Yeah, and it was always kinda weird with her after that too. She did this weird thing where she, like, didn't really raise her kids and whatever, that's I'm not even gonna get into that whole thing, but she, like, stopped texting as much, and it was always me reaching out or our other we were a group of 4 really close friends from college, and we would always text. We had a group text, and we would all be texting each other just, "Hey, how's it going? What's up?" She wouldn't respond, and then even individually, if you texted her, she would take days to text you back, and it wasn't ever anything substantive. It was like, "Oh, I'm good. How are you?" And then I would just be like, "Oh, I'm good. This is what's going on in my life," and then she wouldn't ask questions back, and it's like, I'm putting way too much effort into this. I do not have time. I really don't. So if you're
Yeah.
not if she clearly wasn't interested, and it's like, I reach out to my friends because I genuinely wanna know what's going on in their lives, even if I'm busy and I've got so much going on, I still wanna be like, "Hey, are you good? What's going on?" And she just wouldn't do it. And by the way, she didn't even have kids at the time because she basically gave them away. So, she just I'm like, "What are you so busy doing that you can't even take interest in your friends' lives? Obviously, I'm not a priority, so then you're not a priority in mine either."
Yeah, definitely. That's a couple of things that you brought up there just with this one friendship. I was thinking I've also experienced, and probably most of us have experienced, is just that you're being the one who reaches out, you're the one asking questions. And when you have a friend like that, never ask any questions, doesn't take an interest in your life, never reaches out, that's not a friend. And again, you don't want to be draining your energy on this person. And equally, like, even if you did meet up, every now and then, but even in person, they just don't ask you any questions, don't take an interest in your life. They're
Yeah.
draining you. They leave you after that after meeting up with them, if they leave you with the sense of like, "What just happened?" Like, you're confused about the relationship that's there, then
Mhm.
you know that is not a good friend because you wanna
Yeah.
feel uplifted after you hang out with someone. You don't wanna feel drained of your energy and feel like you're begging for their attention. That's one thing I really hate when it feels like you're begging someone to be in your life, and, like, we no one needs to do that. There are
Mm-mm.
people who genuinely and authentically want to be in your life, want to be your friend, and it's just pointless to be wasting time on friendships like that.
Yeah.
Even if you sometimes feel the obligation to stay friends with someone because you've known them for a long time, man, I have friends that I've known way less than, I don't know, some of my childhood friends that I don't talk to as much anymore because of that. They don't ask me questions about me, they don't seem to take an interest in me, and it longevity of the friendship doesn't mean anything. Does not correlate to how deep the friendship is.
Yep. 100%. I also have had the situation where, like, you go and you talk to somebody and you talk about all the things in your life and you give them an update on everything that's going on, and you feel like they know you really well, but you get nothing back. Like, you don't know anything about their life. And this might some people might not care. They might be like, "Great. I love to talk and I hate to listen." And that's a good friendship for them, but that's not a good friendship for me. I don't wanna
Mm.
leave a conversation and be like, "Man, I don't know anything about you. I just don't that's not a connection to me. That's just like me talking to a therapist, basically, or like a
Yeah.
stranger on the street. I don't know. It just that's I don't know. I don't like that kind of thing.
Oh, I totally agree, and I actually have some friendships like that. It's just, like, I try to get them to like, I wanna get to know them more. It's like, we've changed over time. These are, like, childhood friends of mine, so it's like, I don't wanna be just thinking about the past. I wanna know about you now. I
Yeah.
think that's one of those things that is difficult sometimes, evolving with friendships that we've had for a long time. Yeah, just trying to grow together. That's another thing. If you're growing in your life and you share these parts of you with someone and they're not supportive of that, or they don't accept new boundaries that you may have, that's also a red flag in a friendship, in my opinion.
Yeah. 100%.
And I guess also thinking about that is, friends that are just showing up for certain parts of your life. They're only there for the good times or not for the bad times. Or equally, people who
Mhm.
are only around when bad things are happening to you, but when something good happens, like, they're just not happy, and you can totally tell based on the energy that
Yeah.
they give you.
Yeah, it's almost like they're like, "Oh, you're miserable? I'm happy about that. Let me be there for you. Let me be
Yeah.
your shoulder to cry on." And yeah, that's a
Yeah.
weird one because it's like, why do you why would you wanna
That
see somebody
is
unhappy, but then you're annoyed or upset or not happy for the person when they're happy and doing well? That's so weird. That's almost like psycho behavior. I don't know.
Yeah, it is. It's just I guess, like, people are jealous. You
Yeah.
know, like, if something good happens to you, there's always someone who has to play devil's advocate all the time,
Uh,
and I'm just like, "Why? Just be happy." Like, I if you have genuine concern, I don't know, it's like the way that people express it, or you just feel if it's authentic or not.
definitely. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
weird. There's also, like, the convenient friend that's only around, like, when they need something. Oh
Yeah.
my god, I remember in college this was a big thing in my 20s. I had friends who would come around when they were like, "Oh, there's a party and I need a ride," and then they would text you and be like,
Mm.
"Hey, are you driving to the party? Can I ride with you? Can you be the DD?" But they would never offer to be the DD, or they would never offer to be like, "I'll give you guys a ride or I'll take you guys there." It was only like you know what I mean? Like, convenience. "Oh, this will work for me, so I'm gonna reach out to you."
Oh, yeah, totally. No, I get that, and just, like, recently, someone reached out to me asking me for something. They texted me, and I was like, "I don't think so." I just never responded because I was the kind of friend who was, like, always checking in first, trying to hang out and things like that, and then they went quiet for a while, and I was like, "Okay, I don't what's happening?" And then the months later, they're like, "Hey, I need blah, blah, blah," and I just didn't respond because at that point, forget about it. If
Good.
something had happened, then I would have expected them to be like, "Hey, sorry I disappeared. Stuff happened." Stuff happens, but she just said, "I need something," and I was like, "Absolutely not. I have other friends that I want to pour my energy into, and this
Mhm.
just isn't working."
Yeah, I mean,
I
that's
get
a
that.
yeah, and that's a very clear sign that you're sending, "No, I'm not putting up with this."
Yeah. Yeah.
And you either change your ways or friendship over. Ha.
Yeah, exactly. I think we all have been the bad friend sometimes because things happened, but
Mhm.
then you apologize, you reach out, and that's an important part of maturing, knowing when you're the one who's actually doing something, quote, "bad," and that you need to be the one to reach out and apologize to your friends if you care about that friendship.
Yeah, it's also, like, a good time to self-reflect. If you find yourself being, quote, unquote, "the bad friend," maybe that friendship isn't for you, and that's why you're acting that way. Maybe you just need to be like, "You know what? I'm just instead of being a bad friend, I'm just not gonna be a friend anymore at all. I'm not even gonna waste your time."
Yeah, that's actually a really good point
Mhm.
because sometimes you just don't vibe with someone and you have different interests and or just the way that you are. Like, for example, one thing that comes to mind with that is people who like to gossip. People who friends who bring you gossip about other people, and I just feel so uncomfortable when people tell
Yeah.
me other people's business. I'm just like, I really don't wanna talk about this, and also it makes you question, right? Do they say stuff about me? Or if you tell
Yeah.
someone something in confidence, are they telling it to other people? That's
Yeah.
that's scary, isn't it?
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah.
Have you ever had friendships like that where you hang out and all they wanna do is talk about other people, and I don't know, it's just that makes me super uncomfortable.
Yeah, I don't like that, and if that happens, I usually try to, like, just, like, change the conversation to something else, and like, I never engage in that. I just let them talk, and then when there's a good point when I can just change the conversation, I do. Because those types of people, I feel like if you were to say something like if you're like, "Oh, yeah, yeah, she does do that. I never really noticed that." They would
Mhm.
totally turn around and be like, "And you said this about this to the other person." They would
Yeah.
like, they could totally spin that around, and I just don't trust a person that does that. Because
No, exactly.
yeah, if you have a problem with somebody, you need to bring that up with them and then just be like, "Hey, what you did, I didn't like this." Don't go around talking bad about them because that just makes you seem super sketchy. Unless you're trying to
Yeah.
find advice, like, maybe you're trying to be like, "Hey, this person did something. How do I handle it? What would you do?" Or like, "What should I do? Should I just let it go? Am I being overly sensitive?" If you're actually asking for advice, fine, I get that. But
Mhm.
don't be the type of person that's, like, talking crap about another person because that makes you very untrustworthy to me.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's a really good point. You could tell if someone is doing it maliciously or if they genuinely want help and advice with a problem,
Yeah.
and you could just tell. But again, what you brought up there, also people who just aren't mature enough to bring something up with a friend when they've been upset, that's also a sign of a bad friend if they just
Mhm.
give you the silent treatment without telling you what you did wrong or trying to, I don't know, amend that friendship, then that's also not worth having because you're always gonna be stressed about what's going on in the other person's mind and how they feel about you. So that's another thing that is a red flag to me in a friendship.
Yep, 100%.
Yeah. And I think another thing that isn't related to this specific topic we were just on, but people who don't show up for you, this is like a more minor thing, but I've been noticing how in our society nowadays, we're less reliable. I don't know what you think about that, but it's just, I notice people just don't show up to someone's like important event or,
Mhm.
when they need them for whatever, you need a friend, they don't show up on the excuse of boundaries. They're like, I don't want to come out to your event because I need boundaries and I need my alone time or something, or I don't know exactly what's a good example of this, but I was
Mhm.
just like, okay, sometimes you're tired, you're uncomfortable, but you have to show up for your friends. You can't
Mhm.
always be making excuses of reasons not to support your friends for special moments and special
Yeah.
events.
Yeah, I mean, I get, like, being out of town and you're like, "Oh, I had this trip planned, so sorry I can't come," or, "I already had another event," or, like, you get sick. Obviously, don't come to
Yeah.
an event if you're sick. But if you're just, like, one of those friends that just consistently just never shows up to anything and it's a pattern, yeah, I mean,
Mhm.
you're not a good friend. You have to try to show up.
Yeah, I think that's what I meant with this whole long story. But, yeah, because I noticed that there are people that I will invite to things, and I just know, "Oh, they're not gonna show up," and I think you get disappointed
Mhm.
in them often, and so maybe if they keep doing that, I'm like, "Maybe these people shouldn't be my friends."
Yeah.
Because I go to your things, or if you need me, I'll give you a call. I don't disappear on people if they need me, and if they aren't doing the same for me, then, yeah, you just feel disappointed, and it's like, you don't need to feel these feelings.
Yeah.
Just get rid of the people that make you feel that way.
Yeah. Yep, for sure. Ugh, yeah, it's crazy. Have you ever had a friend that's, like, in competition with you?
Oh my gosh, yes, this was my first friendship breakup going back to high school.
Oh,
Actually,
uh-huh.
yeah, I had a friend, who I would
Oh, I know who
describe
you're
as
talking
a
about, yes.
social climber as well. Yeah.
Mhm. I'm out.
She would yeah. So she would only wanna hang out with you, or me, anyone, if she thought she could get something out of that relationship, especially, like, popularity. Because I think in high school, that was such an important thing for people,
Yeah.
but that's all she cared about, like, being viewed in society as I don't know. She was basically a social climber, so
Mhm.
she just switched friend groups one day, and that was the end. And she was always, yeah, in competition with me, it felt like, with grades or with who's doing more. Even still today, running into her parents, they're like, "Oh, so and so is doing great. She bought a house. She did this," and I'm just like, I don't care.
You're
I
like, "I don't
really
even know this
don't
person
care.
anymore."
I don't know this person anymore, but she's like that because of her parents. They're the same
Yeah.
way, clearly by the way that they have spoken to me when I encounter them when I go back to my hometown. It's
Yeah.
so weird.
It is interesting how some of this behavior does come from your upbringing, right? It'd be interesting to know, I'm sure that there's studies out there to show like, "Oh, are you more likely to be a bad friend if your parents are bad friends to their friends?" That'd be an
Yeah.
interesting study. But
Yeah,
yeah,
probably.
yeah, a lot
Oh
of
my
it.
gosh, I actually I wanna share this about this friend I was just talking about. I thought this was hilarious. She got engaged and she reached out to me and she was like, "We're not posting anything on Instagram." We weren't close at this point anymore. This was even after college. Yeah, and she was like, "We're just telling our friends, our close friends that this happened, and we're just not posting it online, but we wanted to tell our friends." And I was like, "Amazing, great for you." Like, I was happy
Mm,
for her. I
yeah.
have no problem with that. But then the wedding came around and I was not invited. So I was like,
She
"What?"
just wanted you to know. That's
Yeah,
it. That
yeah.
was it. Yeah,
Alright, good for her. She got engaged and married before me. I don't care.
yeah. That's like
I
the
don't
subtle.
care.
Yeah, that's like the subtle competition, right? Where she's not like,
Mm,
she makes it seem like she's just sharing this great news that she's so excited for, but really in her mind, she was like, "Ha! I beat her, and I just need her to know."
yeah, and she was like that with our other friends. We were a close group of 4 friends from
Mhm,
elementary to high school, and then in high school, she became weirder still, but she was always like that as a kid too, always trying to win at the games, getting angry if she didn't win, giving
mhm,
backhanded compliments to especially she really had it out for another girl in our friend group. She was always saying mean things about her behind her back if she wasn't around, so, yeah, lots of red flags in that friendship. I really do wonder if any of her friends that she's got now are real.
yeah. It would be, I would be shocked because a personality like that, like, it started so young and, like, it's basically everyone that she knew, like, that would be, I'd be surprised if she has any real friends. It's kinda
Yeah,
sad
that
for her,
is
but
too bad.
yeah.
That is too bad. I get it because it was like we were good friends when we were younger, and
Mhm. Yeah,
if she
I
hadn't
know.
gotten weird, we could still be friends.
Yeah, for sure. Ugh, oh my gosh, it's so crazy. I feel like we could talk about this topic forever though. Um,
Yeah.
but so I think we're running a little bit shorter on time, but I wanted to see if you wanted to play a game.
Yeah.
It's called, I want to call it What's Worse. So basically, I'm just going to give you two different scenarios and we can kind of discuss which scenario is worse. And we can see. I think
Okay.
it'll be interesting because we may not agree.
Yeah, okay, let's do it.
Okay. All right. So the first two scenarios, a friend who cancels plans last minute or a friend who never makes plans in the first place. Which one is worse?
And this is all the time? Like, they always cancel the plans?
Yes.
Ah, okay, I think I'm gonna go for that one, always canceling the plans.
Yeah. That makes me so mad because, like, it's so much effort, honestly. And, like, I have to think about all the things that have to go into, like, especially with my kids, it's got to be like, okay, we got to think about, like, You gotta plan ahead for all this stuff now,
Yeah.
especially with kids, but and then if they cancel, like, 30 minutes before or an hour before, it's like, "Man, dude, I already did all this work, and now you're canceling on me? Come on." Yeah, that would make me mad. Just don't make the plans.
Yeah. Yeah, agreed. You know why? Because even the person who isn't making plans, some people are more laid back and chill. Like my
Mhm.
husband never makes plans with
Yeah.
his friends, and I'm like, "Don't worry, I'll make the plans. I like making plans, it's fine." But like he'll show up. I
Yeah,
feel like if showing up is better
yeah.
than being the one who plans, so I agree. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So the second scenario, the friend who disappears when they get in a relationship or the friend who brings their partner everywhere?
Oh, I forgot I did wanna mention this. People who disappear when stuff happens in their life, like either getting in a relationship, or this may be an unpopular opinion, but when people have babies, I also get mad when people change too much and disappear. I understand having a baby is difficult and it's a lot of work, but you can
Mhm.
text every now and then or like
Mhm.
at least answer my texts.
Yeah.
I think, yeah, definitely then I'm gonna go for the first.
I think I'm gonna go with the friend who brings their partner everywhere because I had a friend who did that, and I would just want to hang out with her, like, have our girl time, and when I made the plans, I would be like, "Oh, do you wanna go to dinner, just the 2 of us or whatever, so we can catch up?" And she would just show up with her boyfriend, and I was like, "I just wanted to catch up just the 2 of us," because like, sometimes you just wanna catch up as friends, and it's
Yeah.
like, I have no problem with the partner being there, but, like, you gotta also grow your friendship, especially if you're close friends. There are some friends that
Mm,
are just, like, couple friends, and that's fine, but I really hated it when that happened. It was really annoying. It's like and again, I didn't have a problem with the part although sometimes I have just, like, straight up not like their partner, and I was like, "Oh my god, I just don't wanna hang out with them." But
yeah.
I don't like the not having time with friends. It's like, I don't wanna tell you about my life, like, my secrets and stuff in front of this person who may or may not be around, to be honest, in about
Yeah.
a year.
No, that is true. Actually, both of these are pretty bad, now that
Mhm.
I think about it. It's because 'cause I've never had a friend who does that, but I would hate that.
Yeah.
I really value my one-to-one girl
Yeah.
time.
Yeah, that's like when you get into the deeper stuff, like, your connection gets stronger because you can get into, like, more into your lives. I don't know. I don't know how to explain it really,
Yeah. No,
but
totally. Yeah, I agree.
yeah. Yeah. Oh, this one is really good. Someone who never pays you back or someone who sends Venmo requests for $1.75?
Someone who never pays you back, probably, because I think the bitterness would grow over time. Because here I'm assuming is any amount, so it could be a huge amount. I'm
Yes.
guessing based
Yeah.
yeah. It is
I think that
annoying the, like, Venmo requesting, it's true, like, even for 50 cents, I'm like, "Really?" But it doesn't bother me as much.
yeah, I also don't know their financial situation. $1.75 might be a lot to them, you know?
True.
And I really hate owing people money. Like, in my mind, I'm like, "Oh my god, I owe you $1. That's so annoying." Like, even though I don't care if you owe me $1, but, like, I don't like owing people money. So, I think for me, it's definitely the person who doesn't pay me back.
Yeah, I can agree on that too,
Yeah.
for sure.
Oh, this is good. Someone who's always late or someone who arrives aggressively early? I think we both agree on this one.
Someone who's always late.
Yep. I don't care if you're early. That's your problem. Like, as long as I'm on time, I don't really
Yeah.
care if you're waiting there for 45 minutes. You did that to you. But if
Yeah,
you're late,
yeah.
now you're wasting my time.
No, exactly, I
Yeah.
just it's the disrespect, and again, like you said, if you're early, whatever, even if it is to come over to my house, I don't care, I'll be like, "Okay, I'm still getting
Mhm.
ready, but we can hang out. No problem."
Yeah, exactly. It's more time to hang out at that
Yeah,
point. I don't see that as a bad thing. Just know I'm not gonna be
yeah,
ready.
yeah.
Yeah. Because honestly, I feel like showing up 45 minutes late to something is serial killer behavior. I've just come to that conclusion. I'm like, "You are a serial killer."
Yeah, yeah, that's
I
just
realize that's a
not
bold statement.
okay.
It's just not
Uh,
okay. I
no,
feel very
I can
strongly about that.
see you do, yeah, you do. No, so do I, actually. It's just wasting my time, I have things to do, people to
Yeah.
see. I hate it too.
Yeah. Yes. Okay, a friend who overshares your business or a friend who secretly judges everything? Ooh,
Ooh,
I feel
that's
like that's a hard
tough.
one because I hate both of these.
Hmm. I hate both of these
I feel like
because
if
I've had this happen. Both
yeah.
those things, and they're equally terrible.
Yeah, the person who overshares your business, I think, because if I'm telling you something that I feel like is between you and me, I really don't want you to be telling other people. So that is offensive. If you judge me, I honestly I've come to a conclusion in my life, like I finally come to the part of my life where if you're judging me, I honestly don't care. I do not care at all.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I'm gonna go with that one too because it's just so disrespectful, as we were saying, just sharing other people's business and gossiping and having fun with things going wrong in someone's life or well, I don't care, like, it's not your news to tell, even if it's good news, so, yeah, I
Yeah.
wouldn't want that. But with the judging, yeah, I have a friend who is like that, and I think well, it was like a group of girlfriends, and one of them is like that. She judges, you feel the judgment, and she kinda, I guess, made some people uncomfortable, so they're not as good friends. I still remain friends, but then I'm careful with what I tell her.
Yeah.
But we're not,
Yep.
like, that close anymore because that is tough. I feel like
Mhm.
one nice thing that some friends have said about me is that they feel like I never judge people, and I'm, like, glad. I don't want to be the judgmental kind. It's like that
Yeah.
scene from Sex and the City where Carrie tells Samantha, "Don't you wanna judge me even just a little?" And she's like, "Not my style." And I've had friends tell me that reminds them of me,
Yeah.
so I'm like, "Yay, good."
That's a huge compliment. Usually that's a huge compliment. Okay. A friend who flakes on trips or the friend who ruins the trip while there?
I guess the I just hate flaky people. But ruining a
I
yeah, the person who ruins the trip while there, because this is like
yeah,
a bonding experience, memories, and why do you have to be a hater? Why do you have to be an energy drainer, a party pooper? That is no fun.
exactly. Yeah, that to me is so much worse because I love trips, I love traveling, I love planning trips and all of that, and if somebody ruins that for me, I take that very personally. So, don't
Yeah,
ruin my trip. Seriously. I will go after you.
yeah,
Okay, and this
absolutely agreed.
yeah. Okay, and then this last one, someone who steals the fries or a friend who says they're not hungry and then eats half your food?
Uh, aren't they about the same? They're taking
They
your
are,
food.
but yeah. I love to eat, and if I order something, I order it because I want it, and I don't want you to take my food. I love my
Yeah,
food, don't take my food. Also, I really love leftovers. So, most of the time, I try to eat about half of my food so that I then have leftovers because I love leftovers. So, don't take my food.
yeah,
This is all
yeah,
perfectly
that
planned out. Don't ruin it for me.
you're like Joey from
Yes.
Friends.
Yes, absolutely. That scene, I felt so seen, and people were, like, horrified by it when he doesn't wanna share food with the baby, and it's like, "Well, it was his food. He was
Yeah. No,
hungry."
I agree. Totally. This was fun because we got to
Yeah.
talk about other also red flags about friends, but this also reminded me just one more that I wanna share is anyone who makes you feel unwelcome or excluded. I absolutely hate that. That
Yeah.
is the worst. Friends who just make you feel unwanted in any
Mhm.
group of friends.
Yep. That's mean girl behavior. Drop
Absolutely.
those people immediately.
Yeah. And I think to end the episode, some advice, I think with existing friends, if you really care about a friendship and they've done something to upset you, definitely important to talk to them. And if you're not one of those people who is very good at speaking in the moment, like sometimes I have trouble with this, I'll write down a script and I'll have like examples of when I felt like whatever disrespected or something, and then I'll tell him, like, how I feel, and then, like, how therapists say, it's like, you don't come at them with, "You did this, you did that." As I feel, like when this happens,
Yeah.
right? So you don't wanna, like, attack someone because then they're
Yeah.
not gonna take it to heart.
Mhm.
So
Yeah, that's
that's
very good
that's
advice.
also important. And I
Yeah.
guess just setting boundaries, and
Mhm.
if people cross them, then at that point, I'm like, just cut them out. Really, there is no need to have people in your life that make you feel bad about yourself or confused about relationships
Mhm.
ever.
Yep.
And
Good
I
point.
think, like, when you're trying to find new friends and just leaning into the things that you love and doing hobbies that you care about, then you're gonna find like-minded people. And then early on, like, when you see how they treat other people, how they talk about their friends, you can determine whether or not they're gonna be a good friend. So it's
Mhm.
just noticing all these things and making sure that you share the same values so that you don't feel disappointed, which
Yeah.
often happens.
Yep. Good advice.
Do you have any advice to share with people?
Nope, I think you did a great job.
Well, awesome. Yeah, thank you all so much for joining us for another episode of the WPS podcast. Now we wanna hear from you. Tell us about any bad friends you've had, how you've dealt with it. Tell us your stories, we wanna hear.
Yeah, for sure. Drop a comment, follow us on social media and all that. We wanna hear. We wanna hear all this bad friend stories. I'm sure honestly, I feel like we could talk about this topic forever, but I do wanna
Yeah.
hear other people's experiences.
I think we should definitely do a follow-up for this topic because there
Oh,
is
yeah.
so much here to unpack.
Oh, yeah.
Well, we'll see you next time. We said it, so you didn't have to.
Bye.